my opinion, one of the most exciting game birds to shoot because they are totally wild. They do what they want, they see you, they move around a lot, they move around a hell of a lot more than partridge and pheasant do. But ultimately, all the excitement and the buzz of the day aside, we want to be looking at safety really. Most of your shots are going to be around eye level or just above, or sometimes even below. You've got to be making sure that you're not doing anything silly. You know, take your time, be very aware of your surroundings, be aware of your neighbours. We have the butt sticks here, left side and right side, to obviously limit you swinging through down into the neighbour's area of shooting. That would be a big no-no on a day out when you're shooting grouse. So if we've got a bird that curls out to our left side and I favour the right side, the opposite side to the bird, what you can find here would be a dangerous thing to do, would be to swing right the way down through with the bird. Be very, very careful, because now I've come right inside the sticks and that's a big no-no. That's to send you home. Okay, so you've got to be very careful. Now the gun's unloaded. I'll just show you again. If the bird presents itself and I'm on the right hand side of the butt and the bird's going left-handed of me, it's bad practice to go on the opposite side to get that wider angle. I would always recommend to always favour, if the bird is going left-handed, let's take a step to the left. So if the bird does close in on us, they're very fast game birds we're talking about here, we can see the sticks come in our line. We've either taken a shot or we've decided not to for safety reasons. We bring the gun back round to a safe area. And obviously the same side here, the right hand stick, we want to be making sure that we're not too far this side of the butt, because of course there, if you can see my gun, it can come round inside the sticks. And again, it's just total disregard for your neighbour's safety. And these days are about safety over anything. You've got to be very, very careful, because things get very fast, very lively, but safety is your number one thing you want to be thinking of through the whole day, especially when you're shooting grouse. Okay, so now we're going to look at the dead straight, the pin straight grouse, okay? Coming directly straight at the butt. It is going to lift through. Okay, so it's going to be very fast. It's not going to be straight at our eyes, because obviously that would be dangerous. It's going to be about, its closest point here, it's going to be about 10 to 15 yards above us, which is ideally not where we want to be shooting it. Good practice on the grouse would be taking a confident but safe shot as far out as possible, but as shootable as possible. About a 40-yard shot out here would be ideal, because then if we make a mistake and we miss the shot, we can make a second backup shot at a safe distance here and the bird hasn't come through. Okay, so now we're going to look at your typical dead straight, fast driven grouse, so be ready. Okay, so you'll see that the gun will fall down into a safe position, but a very low position. I always like to keep my head down, be ready, because obviously if I'm standing bolt upright and that bird presents itself in front of me and it sees me, I'm going to encourage it to go right-handed or left-handed, which is obviously a more trickier shot. Then I've got more to deal with. Okay, so when we're ready, Ed, we're just going to keep the gun nice and straight. So if you look, it's about level with the horizon. So pull, gun up, take it. Okay, one more, gun up, pull, gun up. So if you notice, I'm keeping the bird away from me, I'm keeping it in front, purely because there's less going on there. In my opinion, it's an easier shot out front. Obviously it's taking a straight line. If I leave that target to come any closer, so you saw I took the shot about 35 yard out. If I leave it to come any closer, there's more movement in the barrel and I present myself with a lower, faster bird, which in my opinion is probably one of the hardest tricks in the book to shoot. It's just not the place you want to be. It's ideally leave it for a second barrel if you need to. Okay, so we'll show you one more time. We'll do two more of these. Now you'll notice that the gun stays completely low all the time. My head's straight. I'm looking out here for the birds. So when you're ready, Ed, pull. Okay, so there's a very short move to it. Notice how I'm not wasting any time. Pull. Okay, so the barrel at the end is probably moving, I would say, no more than about 15–20% of the bird's flight. If we gave the bird 100% flight, we only want to be cutting that barrel movement down to about 20%, purely because the shot out there, there's less to do. Notice again, I'm being very, very barrel tidy. I'm lifting from underneath the bird, keeping it at a low angle of attack. It gives me an advantage over the bird. You've got to be confident. Don't waste any time on it. Get the bird shot out front for obvious reasons. If we miss it with the first barrel, we've still got enough time for a second follow-up shot. Okay. Okay, so another important thing when you're shooting grouse, okay, there's no cartridge in it, totally empty. It's always good to make sure, it's good practice that the barrel is matching your horizon, purely down to the fact that when the birds arrive, they don't surprise you. You're not standing here with the gun up in the air. You're never ever going to shoot a grouse at that angle unless it's second barrel late on, okay? So make sure that the barrel is nice and low. If the birds arrive, I can lift the barrel, it matches the horizon. I arrive at the bird, I'm purely comfortable because I know exactly where the bird is. It's at the end of the barrel and I'm giving myself so much time. Be very, very smooth when you shoot these because, again, you're shooting mainly in front of you, sometimes off at the side. So be very smooth. You don't need to move through that big long angle with the big sweep of the gun. Nice and steady. So here it goes again. The gun comes up, nice and smooth. You can cover a hell of a lot of ground by just a very, very short move with the barrel. So I'd like to overemphasize that the more you move the barrel, the less control you'll have in the shot. Try and use the bird as a bit of a magnet, you know, stay with it, follow it on, it gives you time. And also never forget the feet, because obviously you're talking about a very narrow angle here. These birds can cover ground very, very fast, so always make sure that your feet are in place to catch that bird downrange. Second barrel, always set for that second shot if you need to.
Do you often see birds flare because people are too active in the butt?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if again, that excitement factor, you know, if you don't keep nice and low, they are, especially later grouse, when they've done a few laps, as I call it, they really know what to look for. And if they see you lift your head, if you stay too low and then you lift up, all of a sudden a pack of 20 can become just birds scattered in the air. And then it takes a lot of work to try and get that shot back under control, you know, because what way do you go? They flare all sorts of directions. What bird do you pick when you've only got half a second to make a decision? So I'd always recommend, you know, if the pack's coming towards you and it decides to just wander left-handed, again, the gun's empty, take the gun in the direction of the covey of the birds, get yourself in ready, bang, it gives you enough time. Don't waste any time on grouse, you know, start your work very early. If you can get the bird down under control between a 40-yard and a 30-yard range, you've still got all this close end to shoot in, you know. If you're not on control with the bird until it gets around 20, 15 yards even, then you've got the sticks to contend with, the bird's already through. So you've got to make sure that your work is started very early. Again, get your loader to help you pick the birds, you know, get him to help you spot them. He may be a lot younger, help you out a lot faster. If you can gain that advantage on a day's grouse shooting, you're going to win.
So Mark, any advice on shells for grouse?
Yeah, so here we've got two types of shells really. One is your grouse range, which comes in 3 loads, 33 gram 5.5, 31 gram 29 gram, all great for the job. And the other side of the coin is the black gold game, which is a 32 gram 5, very similar choice of load, slightly different speed. Obviously when you open these up, you can see all your lovely shot in there, diamond shot, you know, perfect for consistency. I rely on that. Normal factory shot is good, it will do the job, but I like to know that your diamond shot is going to do the job every single time. Basically, you've got consistency there. You will not find any impurities in any of them pellets whatsoever. It wouldn't faze me if you gave me these or these on a grouse moor. Okay, so we're going to shoot, me and Steve, chief loader here, best loader in the West as they call it. We're going to run through the whole double gun situation. Okay, ready? Whoa. Right. That's it, left. Right. On the board. Don't ever rush, you know, try and help your loader out as much as you can. Never just throw the gun at him. He's got twice as much, probably 3 times the workload that I've got to do. So respect that he's got a lot of work to do there. Help him along, you know, we can, so guns are totally empty here, we can run you through it. Basically we're shooting out in front in the direction of the camera there. So it's basically 2 shots out front. I'm looking to keep my eyesight in front. So I'll never take my eye off the camera. With my right hand, my left hand lets go, just stick the gun nearly vertical. Then it's over to him. He places left hand, forend, right hand pistol grip. We go again, bang, bang. Keeping my eyes front, the gun comes to the same direction, left, right hand, change. Okay, and if I go fast, if I start trying to speed up, it makes his job even worse. Okay, so what we're looking for is a nice, smooth, controlled rhythm, a backwards and forwards pass. So bang, bang, again, it's easy to do. Once you learn the timing, it's easy. You can make things easy. You can get some shots off in quite a good rate of knots. But always remain safe, always remain in control, never rush. You know, don't think just because you've got 2 guns circulating with 4 shots in them that you have to get them shots off. In my opinion, a good shooter, whether you're shooting pheasants, partridges, grouse, will always remain accurate, calm and deadly with a gun in the safe direction, rather than thinking greedy, you know, get as many shots off as I can. It's not about that. It's about enjoying your day safely and working together as a team, because it is a team effort.
And from the loader's point of view, what sort of thing are you expecting from the gun?
Really just to keep cool and calm in the situation.
Absolutely.
You know, it's my job is essentially as a loader to make sure hopefully Mark doesn't lose his way and get a little bit of the red mist descend, as you quite often see sometimes.
Very easy done.
Yeah, seen it quite a few times myself. And I mean, from the loading point of view, when I load out of a pouch here, which I find a little bit easier to then be able to take the 2 cartridges out, always if I can, trying to grab them brass side up, so then it's much easier for me to then load them into the chambers. Nice safe close to the area I'm closing the gun to, straight up round the back of Mark. And I'm essentially then looking for Mark's left hand to show me where he wants that gun placed. So when that left hand comes across his body and the right hand's gone with the other gun, I can place that forend straight into his left hand, break the second gun and reload again.
Smooth is fast and stay in control. You know, it's the best way of shooting. You'll, in my opinion, less shots, more accurate, instead of more shots frailing around, making noise and poisoning the atmosphere. You know,